Welcome to the video tutorial on ICM geometry cleanup of a control valve. This is part 3 of the video tutorial. Now in this step, we will modify the internal surfaces and parts that are present. We need to extract the volumes in which we expect the fluid to go and which we are going to consider in the modeling domain. We first delete this surface, that is the horizontal surface, in the central part. We have to deal with one part at a time. Depending upon which volume do we want to retain, we modify various parts and surfaces associated with them. We will also need to create additional curves in order to modify or create additional surfaces. So the first step is using the existing surfaces, we create additional curves by using the create modify curve option. This is the modify surface option. We have created a surface using an existing curve that we created. Again, we use create modify curve. We select the part to which that curve belongs. Then we create a curve using an existing surface, that is the bounding edges or curve of that surface are created by using this tool. Then using the curves that we created, we create a surface using the create modify surface option. In this operation, we create a curve by using the intersection of two surfaces option. What we are trying to do is create bounding curves for the internal surfaces so that we can create our own modified surfaces to extract the fluid volume. Again, we use the intersection of two surfaces option to create a new curve. Next, we will also use the build topology option to create all the bounding curves that are present, all the bounding curves on the external side of the parts that are present in the central region. We use filter points and filter curves, and we select the part which we need to build topology for. We have created curves from the entire geometry by using build topology option and created new entity or part called curves. We can name them as we want. So we have now a bunch of curves which we can use to create or modify our geometry or surfaces. Here we are using the delete surface option or delete geometry option to delete the external surfaces in order to modify our internal curves and surfaces. So we need to create an internal central geometry from the existing section of pipes and cylinders. As you can see, this is the central pipe that we need to generate surfaces for. So we are deleting this external geometry. and we will use the curves that we created from build topology to create internal hollow geometry. In this particular cylindrical section of different diameters, what we need is a central region. So we are selecting all these surfaces of different diameters. We will select them and just delete them in order to create our central hollow region. Here we are using the blank surface option to blank the external surfaces in order to view the internal surfaces which we want to delete. As you can see, there is a hole at the bottom which we need to close. So we use the create modify surface, then we select the curves which we created by using build topology, and using these curves we fill this gap that is present by creating a surface there. Again, we are filling up the internal geometry by creating a surface. As you can see here, we have filled up this geometry till the point that we wanted. So basically we are not concerned with anything below this. Filled up the surface at that point and created a hollow section there. That is a hole. Now we deleted all the curves that are present. So that we generated by using build topology, as our job with them is done now and we do not need them anymore. Now we will deal with the bigger external valve geometry to create inlets and outlets. We need curves there to create our surfaces. So we are using build topology option to create the bounding exterior surfaces as shown here for the inlets and outlet. The build topology option will create curves again, that is the external curves for this part. We will use these to create surfaces. Thank you for viewing this part of the video tutorial. See you in the next part.